Okay, my friends, so first things first. Yes, I am sat in my electric car, Porsche Taycan Generation 2, and next week I'm going to be filming my journey across. We're going to do like a challenge. Myself, Jeff Buys Cars, and Tony Goodman from EV Carnage, and it's going to be a little bit of a Christmas special that we're filming. We're each going to film it, and it's going to be on all of our channels, so looking at different sort of like angles of it. And this time it's myself against them two, but I have an advantage this time. Heater's gone off. I have an advantage this time because they're saying that oh, you might have to charge. I'm not going to have to charge. I'll make it in one go, and I'll even have charge to get back up north again after. So and also I think I'm going to beat them on cost because they booked a hotel where there's no chargers, and I said, well, down the road there's a Porsche service centre and I can just charge it there. So I'm going to beat them on cost anyway. So if you're watching, guys, I've already beat you on cost. Anyway, and by the way, Tony Goodman, EV Carnage, I've got a bone to pick with you when I see you because I came up with milk float first. So you owe me a pint. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to meeting Tony and seeing Jeff again. And it is going to be an excellent challenge. Now, let's get down to business. Along the way, by the way, we're going to be doing a few things. So it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll be able to have a few beers at the end. Now then, we had the budget last week, didn't we? And what came up in the budget? Well, for electric car owners, the 3p per mile came in.
And because all cars contribute to the wear and tear on our roads, I will ensure that drivers are taxed according to how much they drive and not just by the type of car they own, by introducing the electric vehicle excise duty on electric cars. This will be payable each year alongside vehicle excise duty at 3p per mile for electric cars and 1.5p for plug-in hybrids.
And she also said that they've actually given, what was it? They've given £150 off of the green tariff to save people on their energy bills when they're charging, etc. Whatever. Anyway, but now today, Ofgem have said, I think it's Ofgem, you'll have to check that one out, have said they're allowing energy companies to add £130 a year on your bill to cover the building of the infrastructure for cars. So I think everybody now, by the way, everybody, even if you don't have an electric car, I think you're now going to be paying extra to cover the cost of the infrastructure for the electric cars. So people who hate electric cars are now going to hate them even more. So there we go. And that's a week after the government announced that they were giving £150 off the green tariff. So I'm going to say shame on the greedy energy companies. You, in fact, I'll tell you what you are, energy companies.
You are scum! You are scum! You make everything you touch dirty!
That's what you are. You are, and I'll say it myself, you are scum. All of you, scum, charging us for that. Now, also, I said that this would have a massive effect, and so did the government. They said it would have an effect on the sales of electric cars. But also, I watched a guy called Dave Takes It On, lovely guy, like his channel, but he actually put a video out trying to find the positives of this 3p per mile charging, and I read the comments on it, and people were saying only you could find out some positives of being charged 3p per mile. There is no positives, Dave, if you're watching. It's going to stop the sales of electric cars, even though you may think it won't. Now, today it has been announced, and I'm reading this off of electrifying.com, the EV experts. Shock horror. Are you ready for this? The budget has put people off going electric, warns the SMMT. Right? This is published today, the car industry body and Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, SMMT, has released its monthly sales figures for the UK new car market, and it says that the budget has had a damping effect on demand for EVs. The overall market was down 1.6% on November 2024, but despite the sales of electric vehicles being up 3.6%, the SMMT says that it was the weakest month in 2 years for growth in electric take-up. Looking at the year-to-date figures, EV sales are up 26% on the first 11 months of 2024. So the November figures do seem to indicate a drop in enthusiasm for electric buyers, for buyers going electric. Ford's Puma regained the top of the list yet again. Lack of the EV option on the car not doing a great deal to slow down its sales. New Chinese car makers also enjoyed a bumper month despite the overall market gloom, growing their market share to over 5% for the year to date. SMMT boss Mike Hawes had some strong words on encouraging buyers into electric cars, however. Even in a fragile market, zero-emission vehicle uptake continues to rise, which is exactly what we need, he says. But the weakest growth for almost 2 years ahead of the government announcing a new tax on EVs should be seen as a wake-up call that a sustained increase in demand for EVs cannot be taken for granted. We should be taking every opportunity to encourage drivers to make the switch, not punishing them for doing so. Else the ambitions of the government and industry will be thwarted. Ford's UK boss, Lisa Brankin, had warned ahead of the budget that leaks and discussions around electric vehicles was already having an impact on sales at her company, with customers cancelling orders because of the uncertainty around the EV policy. And I know from this channel in the comment section that people have cancelled their orders for hybrids and electric vehicles. So great. Well done, government. It shouldn't be the Houses of Parliament, it should be the hopeless Parliament. Who would do that in the right mind? It's like Anton Deck. I saw a little meme. Anton Deck saying, come on, tell them to buy electric cars. Now charge them. You know, where they're on the phone. Now charge them 3 pence a mile for driving it. Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced during her budget speech on the 26th of November that she would be extending the electric car grant scheme until 2030 and pumping another 1.3 billion into the pot for it, but at the same time announced a new paper mile tax on electric cars for 2028 and sweeping changes to the mobility scheme that leases cars to people with disabilities, which represents hundreds and thousands of cars on the road. Rachel Reeves is just, I mean, she really is, I mean, this is Rachel Reeves.
You are scum! You are scum! You make everything you touch dirty!
Electrifying.com founder Ginny Buckley said that people were being put off because of the uncertainty. Buyers are keen to go electric, but they're confused by the messages they're getting. The government is trying to be Father Christmas and Scrooge at the same time, giving out the electric car grant on one hand and then on the other penalising people who make the switch with the paper mile scheme. What's going to be interesting is, though, where people want to go abroad, they're now going to be charging people for their miles that they do in Europe. So when it comes in 2028, is it? When it comes in, if I drive this car down to Benidorm, I'm still paying the UK government 3 pence per mile for driving in Europe. Yeah, I'm also paying for charging it up on Ionity or whatever in this country as well. If I go and charge this up on a public charger, I'm paying them tax. VAT is added to that charging point. So it makes no sense. So anybody that can't charge at home is now going to be charging basically and paying tax twice. They're going to pay the 3p per mile and pay tax for when you charge it up. So how does that make any sense? It isn't fair. Rachel Reeves hasn't thought this out. The government hasn't thought it out. And also, people are going to be clocking their cars because you can clock these cars digitally with a USB stick. So you're just going to clock it. I don't want to have to go every year like a naughty schoolboy and go, there you go, there's my car. How many miles have I done? Okay, but I'll go, 2,000 of them was in Europe. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Makes no difference. You've still got to pay that. You've been a naughty boy. You had an electric car. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think it's going to have an effect on electric cars, this 3 pence per mile? It already has, but if you look at the figures, is it going to get worse? If you were thinking about having an electric car, let me know in the comment section. Have you cancelled an order for an electric car? Have you changed your mind and now you're going petrol? Let me know. Dave Takes It On, if you're watching, by the way, hats off for trying to think about something positive about it, but unfortunately, I don't think now that electric car uptake is going to go forward. And that is what I've always been about choice. And they've kind of taken the choice away from you now, because why would you want to pay all that tax twice if you can't charge at home? Absolute madness. Please do me a favour, hit the subscribe button, share this on social media, and let's get it around and just show people what electric cars are all about. This car, by the way, the Generation 2 Taycan, way better than the Generation 1. I'm looking forward to doing this challenge with EV Carnage and also Jeff Buys Cars. However, EV Carnage and Jeff Buys Cars, I'm going to say, you haven't got a chance. I'm going to beat you on price, and I'm going to get there. I can get there without even stopping, so it's not a problem. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.